There you go. Looking really good, Brian.
All right.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. How's everything with you? Good?
Everything's good. You?
Awesome. Yeah. Um,
Is it cold
when?
where you are?
Yeah.
Look
No,
like you're
because
from around here right now.
like in snow.
Yes, it's freaking freezing over here.
Yeah. Well, it's not really that cold here, but I'm kind of a little bit under the weather, and then
Oh, it's
because I
great.
just got back from Vegas last weekend, so yeah, it's been a long weekend. But yeah, yeah. Um, did you do anything cool for New Year? No. Just stay
No,
home.
boring married man with kids. So we just hung out and yay at New Year's Eve, and New Year's Eve
Right.
dinner and all that stuff. So that's about it. Just family stuff.
Right, right, right. Yeah, I think it's better off that that way, right? Because the older we get, sometimes you just wanna take some day off. Like most of the times you don't feel like going out again. Just like before.
Yeah, I think once my kids are out of the house, then I'll probably go out and do more stuff then. So
Yeah, yeah. So, what's new with you? Anything new? Anything cool that you
we
wanna
got
share?
a lot of
No.
things we're working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, orders have been really good, and we've got a lot of racks going out.
Yeah.
Um, we're working on. We just come out with a new 55 series tub.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell me about it.
so
55, 40. Mm-hmm.
it's as wide as our 50 series tub, and
Yeah.
it's the length of our 70 series tub. So you get four tubs across
Right.
in a traditional full system
Right.
by 10. So you get 40 tubs, very similar to the 50 40 rack, but just
But
longer.
it's much deeper. Okay.
Yep. And then
Um.
we also made the tubs out of ABS, which is a big change. So normally the
Okay.
tubs are all propylene, and the
Mm-hmm.
ABS is much stronger, and
Okay.
it'll be a lot better tub in the future.
So I can drop it without any crack, right?
I don't know. A propylene tub, you drop it, you're like crossing your fingers pretty good. But you drop
Right.
this, it's probably less likely to break. It's not
Okay.
polycarbonate, but it is pretty strong.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Remember when we talked like back in Daytona? I think it's like I don't know, like 3, 4 years ago, and then I pitched you the idea, right? Because like I love the M7030, but you're like, no, 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 because our a 5040 is already the best, and that if they need much bigger space, they can go with the M7030. So I'm like, yeah,
Sure.
but with ball python, you need like much like smaller a tight space, right? But for the females, probably need a little bit longer, but not too big. You know what I mean? So the problem with, 7030 are the best. Don't get me wrong. I love that, depth of rec system. But the problem is, as a ball python breeders, when you introduce the new male, I'm talking about the smaller male. So I'm talking about anywhere from 500 gram to 70, 700 gram. They tend to shy away, from like a bigger top. So when I move them, let's say to 7030, they just shut down like completely. So that the one that you just make, that the 5540, it's ideal, especially if I want to introduce to like a much bigger females like 2500 plus. The 5040s are like really good, but I cannot fit like much bigger females in that top. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. When we first started that 50 series tub, the whole idea
Yeah.
was to have an in-between tub between a 10 series tub and a 70 series tub. And,
Right.
and most of the time, I'm always thinking along the rodent lines as well. So I'm trying to think of a tub that would be good for rodents. And so that's
Of
why we
course.
went with the length of that particular tub. I thought it would still work pretty well with ball pythons, as
Yeah.
long and work with breeding rats. And that's why we didn't make it longer. It wasn't necessarily a miss or anything, because that's our number one selling rack. Okay,
I know.
so obviously I did something right. But
Yeah.
we've had a lot of our customers asking for longer tubs and in that version, and so we eventually did it. It was kind of I'm competing with myself a little bit in a way. I'm going against my most popular rack, and we have both now. So I don't think it's completely on our site yet. We just made them available like a week ago or last
Mm-hmm.
Friday or something.
Yeah.
And so you can't even go to the site and order it yet. We just took pictures of a completed rack, and we're getting that all cut out and put up on the site. So it'll be probably within a week or so that'll be up and live, and people will be able to order online. But people can still call and order as well. But yeah, that rack. We will also have a 50/20 version, a smaller, a half rack. That'll be probably
Okay.
a couple months from now, and will be, and all the steel versions will be, all welded versions will be out in about a couple months.
Okay. So not for the hybrid version then. So like all steel ones, right?
Yeah, so we'll offer it in a hybrid 5540, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll offer it in a 50/20 hybrid,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll
Mm-hmm.
offer it in a 50/40 all steel.
Okay. Okay. For that 50 5520 you said, so it's like
It's
almost like half of
55/40
the
all
size
steel.
then. Oh, so you're talking about
All right,
for
I
like
say
a Calubert or
50/40 all
something
the
like
time.
that?
Is so used to saying it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that 50/40 is probably the best one, especially when you do ball pythons because they eat like really well in that top. But the problem is, when you transition to like a bigger top, especially like when you raise the males, that the first time breeder, they just don't want to do anything at all in that 70/30. I'm talking about they just like shut down, like completely shut down. Sometimes they don't want to eat afterward, which is kind of the issues. So, I know like some other brand that have that similar like a 55/40, but the reason that I always kind of like asking you to at least do something similar like that because I don't want to change because I want everything the same. I want everything kind of like
That's why we made
uniform.
that.
I know. So thanks to you. I probably need like I don't know like two more of that those 55/40s and also like the baby racks that 1065. I love them.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so we're looking into maybe making a smaller version of a 1075 or 1065 rack as well. So maybe
Oh yeah,
yeah, maybe a smaller tub for colubrids and people who
yeah.
have a lot of baby ball pythons and need
Hawk
high number.
nose. Yeah, yeah. Are you talking about like smaller like half size or just like the width is like smaller? So
It
it's like
would be
deeper or like smaller?
the same depth of a
65.
series tub, so I think those are 21 inches roughly, 21 and a half. You would do those, and they would be
Mm-hmm.
9 tubs across with a space of 5 10 series.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so
So
just
you would
like the
have,
width is much
yeah,
smaller.
yeah. So it'd be 13 levels times 9.
Oh,
Or
nine. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, you'd be able to. So you wouldn't be able to put really
Oh wow.
ball pythons in it, but you could keep hatchlings in it for a while, or put hognose, that kind of stuff. Corn
Yeah,
snakes,
hawk noses. Yeah. Oh wow.
ball pythons as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The 65 works really well, especially for like babies because I tend to keep them as long as I could because they
Mhm.
eat really well in that top. And then typically that so that's why when I transition the babies to like sub adult, like moving them to my 50/40, it works perfect. So but the problem is sometimes like when they hit that 1,000 gram mark and then I'm 1,200, if I don't do anything that I supposed to do, they tend to like stop eating. So of the fact that you're releasing that new one that 55/40, that will be perfect scenario
Mhm.
for like the whole season. Yeah.
I think the ball pythons like to feel the walls. So if they can feel the sides and the back a little bit, then it makes them feel secure. And
Yeah.
I think they thrive in that environment.
Yeah. Are you gonna do like those a variation on the tops like the clear top or like the silver one or just everything gonna be gray?
That's a good question. So we're kind of, this stuff is all happening right now. So
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was fine. We did just try and run polycarbonate, which would be all clear,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
was being hung up in the cup holder, unfortunately. So we may or may not change the cup holder to try and alleviate that issue. The other option we're looking at right now is trying to make it in a clarified ABS. And if that works,
Okay.
then we'll go with that. And actually, it's more expensive than polycarbonate, unfortunately. It's
Okay.
not as strong as polycarbonate, but it's still very strong. But we're going to try that next and go from there. But I mean, we'll definitely have that tub without cup holder in polycarbonate and in
Okay.
gray as well.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be a totally see-through tub.
Yeah. I mean, it won't be ideal for like ball python, in my opinion. But
No.
some people like to kind of like staring at their snakes or things like that.
But I mean, it just won't be
So it's good.
semi-clear like a polypropylene tub.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Having the like that the water ball built in is much ideal. Because it seems like people get used to it now. Instead of like getting another, like water balls and then put it there, it's just, pain in the butt. And then, so yeah.
Yep, we were the first with that about 17 years ago.
Oh, well. How long have you been doing this?
About
When did you
17.
start?
About 17.
Yeah.
I don't
Where,
think somewhere in that neighborhood.
right. Where the idea came from? I mean, you're not just gonna, like get up in the morning and then, okay, let's make, rack system or something like that, right? Where did you
Right.
get the idea from? If you don't mind me asking.
We're a rodent company we've been a rodent
Yeah.
company for almost 30 years, I guess, for a long time.
Wow.
And
Right.
and I owned a reptile show as well. My reptile show this coming month is 27 years. We've been doing it 27 years here in Indianapolis. So I kind of
Wow,
started around the same time, and everything was going fine, and we were doing well. And just decided we needed to diversify a little bit, and we needed something else. Another product line or another business that we can do that in case something happens and we couldn't sell rodents very well or didn't do very well with that, the reptile show disappears. We needed some other businesses to extend. And at the time I was looking at all kinds of options and metal rack systems. It seemed like there's very little competition in that genre. So that's and that's why we got started in the reptile racks. I felt like I could make a really nice rack, which we did, and we were very competitive with them. And really they from day one they were a hit, and we've been producing racks ever since.
Back what I was saying that about your quality control, because like the finished product of like I'm talking about from like the idea that you came out with the DM rack systems, right? And then from all the sketch until the end result, meaning when the customer get your product, it's probably top of notch. Like I cannot complain like at all. So, I mean your customer service and then like things like that, and then the finish of the like every single thing that you've done so far is probably the best out there. I mean, I'm not saying this because we're talking right now, and I've been saying the same thing to like other breeders too, because some people have this like the similar product perhaps, but like the end result or the quality is not the same. Like sometimes like the top have really sharp edges, or the placement of the water, like that water ball is just not the same. And then sometimes when you place like two rack systems, and then like 50 of the tops are great, but the rest are just like not that good. You know what I mean? So sometimes I wonders like how do you do your quality control? So do you have your own people that go through like the end result before they go to the customer, or like how the process work with you guys?
Well, first of all, so everything that we've done, everything we make, we try and I design and how something looks.
Yeah.
also is very important to us, and I do put a lot of thought into how it looks, because it has to be functional, it has to be affordable as much as we can make it, and it has to look really nice. Because I mean, I've been a reptile person for all my whole adult life. And I'm 51 right now, and I've been in this for over 30 years. And I've bred a lot of animals. I've been, I'm not just making cages, and we have a rodent business, but I've bred a lot of animals, all kinds of animals, and so I know what I would want. And so I've always kind of based everything on how I would want it. And I get feedback from other people and try and figure out what other people like. But at the end of the day, if I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. So I want it to be something I feel like when someone says, "Why do you put holes here?" and why'd you put the water bowl here or that? And because this is how I would want it. And I guess the goal, I mean, you're never going to make 100% people happy ever in life. So I mean, you just try the best you can. But as far as for quality control, there's again, you can't be 100% on everything. We try. And if something isn't what it should be, we always try and make the customer happy and take care of them. But we do inspect our stuff pretty good, and we try and catch anything that's an error or something in welding or an error. And that is part of the reason why I started that hybrid system, is that it takes some of the human error out of it. It's a lot less likely to have an issue. Every time you weld anything, it's handmade. So you got to, there's a lot to look at to make sure everything is correct. But with the hybrid rack, the biggest thing is making sure the parts are all in the box. You got to be able to count and get all the parts in the box. So, which is, it's I'm laughing, but I'm not really laughing. But no, we try our best, and we've gotten a lot better at that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, if something's ever missing, we just send them apart. But yeah, so anytime you put a rack together and you're done with it, it is straight. Everything is perfectly straight, same height. Everything, it comes out exactly the same every single time, and that's what I like about the hybrid racks. And that, if I'm to put up a rack up for myself right now, I would grab a hybrid rack and do it. I just really like them, and they cost less, so which is a benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, I love those hybrids because just like you said, not only because of the the shipping cost is much less, and then I know like at first especially like new customers, when they open the box, it looks like bunch of Legos, right? They're like all over the place. It can be like really tempting to kind of like put everything together. It's like really hard to do, but once you get like one level done, the rest are pretty easy. Yeah, it's not like rocket science, yeah.
It's funny. So we'll have customers that get a rack and put it together in 2 to 2.5 hours. In the same rack,
Wow.
somebody else will call and they'll say, "Well, it took me 5 hours to do this." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle myself. I just do it at a nice leisure pace, and when it's done, it's done. I've bought toolboxes and stuff, and I have to put them together, and that's what you do to save on cost. We did it that way so we can ship it, break it down and put it in a smaller box and ship it. Damage on those it doesn't ever. I'm not going to say it never happens. Oh, I tell you, it's got to be down in the 1 or 2% on hybrid boxes.
Wow.
As far as parts getting damaged. We have a very good box for that, a triple walled box we use, and you can hit them pretty good with a forklift and all that stuff, and they just the damage just doesn't really happen. So
Right.
so it works pretty well. It ships really well.
Yeah. Yeah, the packaging that you guys have right now, at least the last, for the last shipment that I got from you guys, it's much better than like a couple of years ago. In terms of like the boxes and then the placement of the items like insides, even like when like the tracking company deliver the like the whole box, right? When they kind of like fork the wrong angle, the box still like stays still. So that's how strong it is. So that's really good. And then in terms of like how to install, the like the whole system, it might looks really hard, like at first, because I tried to like teach one of my staff to kind of like build it up, and then he had like difficulty to digest like the whole scenario. I was showing him to install those baby racks, those 1065. Yeah, he was like so confused. So I show it to him like just one levels, and then he get used to it. So I think it's better off for. Do you guys have like any videos how to like install the those like?
Something we ought to come up with. I
You
mean,
don't have it, do you?
there are videos out there already, and people who've
Huh?
made videos, but no, we haven't done a step-by-step video. We do have instruction. I think we have a pretty detailed instruction manual for
Okay.
it. But yeah, I do realize I am behind the times on videos. So
That's fine.
I
Yeah.
have some video material, but
Yeah.
yeah. So if anybody's going to do anything, it'll be me. So I get stretched
Yeah.
pretty thin after a while.
Yeah, I mean, if you have time, it's probably better off because, I like the way you explain things sometimes, because remember when you kind of explain it to me, like, when you have this idea to, let's say, make the new racks, right? Like what is the biggest rack that you have for boas and berms or something like that?
So the biggest
1095?
rack we have is
Yeah.
mostly for just for boas. It's a 9706. It's
Yeah, I'm 97.
subs. It's on ball
Yeah.
bearing glides.
Yeah.
That's pretty popular. We sell quite a few of those.
Yeah,
and,
they are.
As far as that type of rack goes, that rack's pretty solid. It's a very good rack.
They are.
It's got a nice steel bar in the front that you can pull on, and so it's not, it's not
Yeah.
loose in any way. It's very solid. I like
Right.
that rack a lot, but it's really just for boas. An adult boa could be in there, but you used to get berms.
Berms.
It probably will eventually outgrow it.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
get a lot of requests. People want us to do a bigger cage. Maybe someday.
Yeah. I was about to ask you the same question too.
Yeah, we'll come up with a design someday, and for right now, I don't have.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's fine, so, because the demand and then the business in this caging, like like way more, like much better than I do. So you obviously know because me as a customers, we just kind of like to give you the idea. Oh, maybe why don't you make this or why don't you make that? But at the end of the day, you're the one that decide because you know more, like inside out of the industry, right? When it comes to like caging system,
Right.
So.
What we decided on making. Now we are in the process of doing more stuff. So I mean, we went for when we started the hybrid rack system. That was a pretty good investment into that system as far as initial costs. And so it's been almost 5 years since we started that, and we've kind of gotten through that, and now we're back into some more design phases and doing more racks. And other products. So we're working on other products as well. So, but cage-wise, we do have to. You have to kind of weigh. We get people ask about Aboro cages, and I've always wanted to do them, and maybe we will someday. But I always fear that I spend a ton of money and then have 6 people be happy. Make 6 people happy. But that's always in the back of my mind. You have to make sure you stay profitable, but
of course.
Money isn't everything because we want to have a complete, complete systems for everyone.
Right.
We are in the process of making a new 80 series tub. That one is, for the most part, it's done. Right now, it's pretty much done, and so we were thinking about, well, we're going to cut a window. The windows that go in. The 80 series tub is kind of it's the next size up from a 70 series tub. It's like 23, 24 inches by like 26 and a half inches, and this one is going to be 7.5 inches high. So it's a good size. You can put maybe Central American boas, something like that, in there. Ring pythons, stuff like that. There's
Yeah.
blood pythons possibly. But that rack is a neat rack. We were going to just have windows that we were going to, have windows machined, and then we would just glue them in as we did before. But
Right.
since the new 80 series tub that we're making is going to be injection molded,
Okay.
it kind of gives us more freedom to be able
Okay.
to do cooler stuff. So this one will have a deli cup holder in it, but we're going to do a 7-inch deli cup holder, so
Okay.
a lot bigger one. And then also we made the front of the tub that will accommodate the window or lens, what do you want to call it, to where we can kind of flush mount it. And so what we ended up deciding to do, we just spent more money and bought, and we're molding our own lens rather than having a cut piece. So we can mold this lens to fit exactly and have it it'll be very nice when it's all done. But that part, it did push it back a little later than what we were hoping for on that rack or on that tub. But at the end of the day, people will be happy with what we've done. I think it'll be a very nice looking tub. So I'm probably more excited about that tub than any tub I've ever made. Because it's just a cool tub. Yeah, I don't know. I get excited about some stuff. I like making things. I think that's the best. Of all the stuff we do, the most fun I get out of is making new stuff and making stuff that's, I've been in the reptile world for a long time, and like I said before, and I remember, to have a melamine rack system was like the Cadillac of systems, and I was stoked when I got that, and so we didn't have thermostats, we just used rheostats, and our heat tape was 3/4 of an inch wide.
Okay.
So that was as wide as the heat tape ever got. And you just kind of, and we still bred snakes. It's come a long way. So it's nice to be able to bring products to the market that wouldn't normally be here. It's not something I take a lot of pride in when we come out with a new product.
Right. Yeah. You can tell, like how passionate you are because I've been telling people like, like nonstop, like if you do like certain thing just for the sake of making the money, you're not going anywhere, And then the product that you actually built or you actually produce so far, it can tell how, passionate you are in terms of like what you really want to do, and then, like for the hobbies or things like that, the product cannot lie, right? Because people can fake it sometimes. Well, most of the time, especially in this hobby,
Someone
right?
doesn't like the product, they're not going to buy it.
Yeah. At the same time, because you're willing to improve, right? Because maybe you learn from your mistake, your experience, and then you're trying to improve, and then for the benefit for other people. You know what I mean? So that's why your umbrella system, sells like really good, so far. So, yeah. Quick question before I forget. You have your own thermostat, yeah? Right?
We are working on a thermostat now. So, yes, the ARS is going to have, hopefully, I don't know. I hate giving out dates because it never works out. But maybe by summer, fall, who knows? We'll see how long it takes. But we're going to keep our own line of thermostats, yes.
Okay. It works the same like any other thermostat, or there's a slightly different tweak? Oh, okay, pretty much. Okay.
I don't know how much of a tweak there really is needed. You can make these thermostats as complicated as you want. You can make them as simple as you want. We're kind of somewhere in the middle. I don't know if they're going to be tremendously different than anybody else's thermostats out there. But hopefully that they'll operate smoothly, as far as easy to program, things like that. Again, I'm always very, centered on design, and I think it'll look nice. I think people will be very pleased with how they look. I think
it looks great. From the from the picture that you sent me, it looks really good.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah.
Just try. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks great. Did you design it yourself or you
Yeah.
just came up from? Oh, you did. Okay.
Everything we've done has come from me. I don't know.
Right.
You're some hit and miss sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah. It looks really good. I mean, I can sound like really biased, but yeah, it does looks really good. Will it be included, with the rack system, or it's gonna be like additional,
It'd be additional.
or it depends?
We used
Additional.
to
Okay.
we used to include thermostats with racks, and that was great. And then competition didn't do that anymore, and so then we couldn't do that anymore because apples with apples. So so now, but what we are going to do. If someone buys a rack from us, then we haven't figured it out yet, but we're gonna give a very good discount on a thermostat. So that way, if you buy a rack, then you can get your thermostat at a much cheaper rate than it would be if you just went in and bought it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that actually makes sense. And then it will be free for me, right?
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. Speaking of which, this is a really good. So I've been getting a lot of questions because there's like so many like new breeders, and they're all like my friends, and then they like to ask me which rec system should I get, and blah blah blah. And then I just showed it to them, like, this is what I'm using right now. I don't want to sound biased, or I don't want to compare this and that, right? Because everybody are my friends, and I don't want to offend anybody. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But one thing that I always get the same question is, it seems like the pricing is a little bit higher compared than others, which is not necessarily true. Let me explain. Because the price that you have on the website, it's what you're gonna get, meaning it's a complete setup. Meanwhile, others might seems a little bit cheaper, but they don't understand that there's a lot of additional have to add, like the thermostat, and then all the heat, that heat panel, the casters, or things like that. So, sometimes people don't really, compare it, like, just like you said, apple with apple. So it's kind of like all over the place. So this is just my suggestion. Maybe you can add like a description on your website, like the price include this. I mean, people don't really read that things, obviously.
I have it. It says what's included.
I know.
But no,
I know. Yeah.
People always ask me what's included. So
yeah. So the same thing. So at the end of the day, this is just my opinion, especially for the hybrid. I know they are not all steel. That's true, but they're pretty strong. And then in terms of the pricing, they're really affordable in my for my opinion. I mean, it depends on how people look at it, but like that hybrid, they're really strong. I mean, I'm not that big. I'm like 5'8", maybe like 160 pounds. I can climb on that thing, and the thing is just like stay still. And then my guy is like 6 feet, and well, he's really big. He tried to step on it because one of the cable was like loose, like last year or something like that. And then the rack is still like really good because people have this presumption that, oh, the hybrid is not that strong enough, they're gonna fall apart. And then the weird thing is, these people that love to whining about everything, they don't even have the rack system.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they just kind of like thinking in their mind, they're like, okay, it's hybrid, it's all steel, they're not strong. So I think back to like what we discussed earlier, like if you could make a video, that would be great. I mean, I can do it for you, but it's gonna be different. Just like what I said earlier, you have this a good way to explain it to like other people. Just like when you explain it to me, like, hey Chris, I have this like new setup, like this big, it's really good with for boas, or like for like big snakes, and then it has that rolling doors, and then the heat. I mean, I cannot do the same thing like what you said to me. You know what I mean?
I'm more familiar with the product. So
yeah, exactly. And then you can say like, oh, this is the material is like injection, this whatever. I cannot say the same thing like what you gonna explain it to other people. And then I think it will be perfect if you. You don't like camera, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's do this then. If I have time, well, hopefully maybe like this year or like next year's, I can go to your facilities and then we can shoot like a quick, video or things like that. So you can explain it and then I post it online or something. So that way, at least you don't have any, excuses anymore.
Right. So, I
Yeah.
know I could put maybe put one of each of the main racks together, and yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I'm camera shy.
It's fine. I mean, it's just a big lens. Um, Another question too. Do you think you can make like a custom? Okay, so this is my crazy idea, right? Because I'm actually in, well, not in a process, but I'm planning to get a farm. I know this sounds really stupid right now,
You be a farmer?
but no, no, not get a
Corn,
farmer. Just get
soybean?
like a
What?
farm.
I got corn
No,
right here.
just for like bunch of, just like for so I can have bunch of animals. But anyway, I was thinking to start, you know, build my collection for water monitor. So I need. Can you make something for like water monitors because they need that heat lamp, UVB lamp, or things like that. So if you can make something like, have you seen that rat holder rack system for rats? So if you can
Yeah,
make like that big, so technically, like your 89 or
97. 97.
yeah, I'm 96. Yeah, but it has like a like a space, so I can put that heat lamp like in
Yeah, I mean,
between.
obviously, you can do something like that. You just make it
Okay.
taller, So yeah, you can do something like that. Put an expanded metal
Okay.
on the top.
Yeah. So it's like customized
Yeah. Well,
kind of
no, I
thing.
mean,
Yeah.
I've thought about doing different lizard racks.
Yeah.
Different monitors and
Yeah.
whatever. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Part part of the reason why I don't just make a million different racks, uh, because the way we like to try and do it here at ARS, we like to have as many models or racks in inventory. So we're trying to always make sure we have them in stock, and it's impossible to do, by the way.
Of
But we
course.
try and do our best to make sure that we have those racks in stock, and it takes a lot of space.
Yeah.
Our facility here is 16,000 square feet. I have more, but I don't really. I'd like to keep everything nearby. We do
Yeah.
plan to build another building this year, so that's
Okay.
be able to store more metal.
Yeah.
That'll help us out a lot, and then we can possibly look
Yeah.
at maybe making other racks. Um, they just take up a lot of space. The hybrids
Yeah.
help a little bit because they're all broken down. It's the
Yeah.
welded racks that are the ones that take up a lot of space. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
that's part of the reason
Do-
why I don't make a whole bunch of different types of racks because they take up a lot of space.
Right. Maybe you can do like based on orders before you make or like stock everything, right? Or
Yeah,
that doesn't work that
the way
way.
we do things, yeah, we can't really just
Oh.
make one rack and then make another rack and then make another rack. It's really hard to do it that way and stay profitable.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Got it.
we have to make 10 or 20 systems at a time to keep our margins low.
Of course. Of course.
So if we just
Yeah.
do one rack at a time, it just skyrockets the price, and the
Yeah.
lead time will be like 2 months.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Or you can put like a minimum orders for like certain racks. So you're
yeah,
not gonna make any
different
if
racks.
it, you know.
Most people buy one or two racks. Every once in a while, you get the guy who wants 20.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Just
Okay. Perfect.
I
Yeah.
will tell you this is that we do we're looking down the road into branching out into other industries in
Okay.
pets. So dog,
Hmm.
cat down the road. So
Ah. Yeah.
we're looking at starting another company
Perfect.
that focuses on dog and cat stuff. So that's another thing we're wanting to do, and
Mhm.
I don't think it's gonna take away my time from the reptile end of it, but that's something
Okay.
else we're looking at trying to get into.
So when you say like dog and cats, are you talking about like for their caging system or like any other accessories?
just dog and cat products. So anywhere from
Mm.
caging to bedding, like, cat litter and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. It's crazy,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
bowls and we're just want to get into that industry and it's a good industry
Yeah,
and
it is.
it'll just be a sister company. That's another thing we're looking at getting into. So that's
Okay. Okay. That would be perfect. Are you looking for like investor?
ah, yeah. I'm
I
looking
want
for a
in.
building. I need at least one more building.
Uh,
So that's what I need really bad right now.
yeah, dogs
Summer
and
containers,
cats are yeah a really huge industry. I mean, I don't
yes,
know anything about like their like water bowl like toys, but like just the caging itself. I mean, it's like multi-billion probably. Well, not billion, maybe like $1 billion industry at least.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. Yeah, that's a really good idea, by the way.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how special we will be, but we'll have a few products that'll be kind of unique. So, um,
Right.
but if we're going to do it, we might as well encompass most of it, and do
Yeah.
many products.
Yeah. Well, the show that you have, for your local show,
Yeah.
um, are they like focused on just reptiles or like any other animals?
So my show, we started
Yeah.
in '93
Yeah.
and 1993, and it is almost all reptiles. So we don't,
Oh, okay.
I get requests all the time from a lot of mammals. It's not a pet show per se. We try and stick to reptiles, and we do
Okay.
allow some small mammals and things like that in, but it's mostly almost all reptiles.
Right.
Um, when we first started doing the show, we were in a 5,000 square foot building for a couple years, and then we moved to the
Okay.
state grounds here in Indiana.
Okay.
And that building was 9,000 square feet, and we've been in
Oh,
that
wow.
building for 25 years, and
Wow.
maybe 24 years. So back in
Mm.
August, we moved to a bigger building. So we grew
Okay.
to an 18,000 square foot building. And
Oh,
from
wow.
day one, the very first show, it just, I don't, it's funny because we were already full at the other one, and you would think, oh, you double it, it's going to thin it all out. It doesn't.
Right.
So we sold
Oh.
every table. We put roughly 158 foot tables, and it's one
Oh,
day,
wow.
and then
Hmm.
we get a couple thousand people through the door in one day. So it's not
That's
bad.
awesome.
Not bad for
Yeah.
a show. So
Yeah.
monthly shows. Mine's not monthly anymore. We do 6, 7 shows a year now instead of every
Okay.
month. But
Okay.
when we first started doing it, it was every month. There's only been so many of them, back in the day. So I think I was the third monthly reptile show in the country, and
Okay.
so not too many of them. And now
Hmm.
they're everywhere. there's a reptile show.
Yeah.
There's probably 6 or
Yeah.
7 of them just in Indiana, and
Yeah.
so the competition, a lot more competition. So, but our show now is doing really well. It's just, I mean, it's just a sign of the industry is doing really well. The economy is doing really well.
Yeah.
It's very exciting in the reptile industry how more open and accepted reptiles are getting with the general public. So
Yeah.
we get all kinds of people come through the door now. It's great.
Yeah, the reason I was asking about your local show is because like when you have like new product, right? So let's say if you just started that for dogs and cats, you can start kind of like introduce the product just using
Oh,
your local show platform. You know what I mean? So you don't necessarily have to distribute to like all over the place
right,
at
right.
first.
We're
Yeah,
mostly just going to be an internet company at first, and just let it go from there. See if it grows.
yeah,
Other than
yeah,
that. Some of the products we got, I think, have potential to go, fairly big. We hope. We hope, right? We hope. But
yeah.
but no, it's just we have at some of our shows we have here in Indy, here at the
Hmm.
state grounds. There's other pet shows. There's a
Yeah.
dog show and a dog and cat
Hmm.
show in November, and
Mm.
we're doing a 2-day show in November. So that'll be a busier show.
Yeah. It's always good to like gauge. So because I do like real estate, right? So I like to kind of like monitors or like keep an eye like really closely on like how, let's say, Home Depot is doing or like Lowe's like doing, right? Because if they slow down, it means the real estate gonna get the effect of from it, right? Same thing
Hmm.
like in this ball python market or like this reptile market, right? I like to like asking a question like, how you guys doing? If you guys like really busy, that means it's a good sign. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I've been getting the same question like every single year, like, oh, is the the ball python market gonna crash? Blah blah blah. No, it's not. It's not.
You
I
know.
mean, this is the same question like 8, 10 years ago.
Yeah. So when we started doing the hybrid racks,
Yeah,
not to be talking about hybrid racks even anymore, but
it's fine. It's
before
fine.
we started that, we had been doing
Yeah,
the original welded racks for quite a while, and then
yeah.
the Python market did take a pretty good dip, and
Okay.
I think it scared a lot of people in the industry, thinking, "Oh my gosh, these ball
Yeah,
pythons," and everybody's like freaking out a little bit.
yeah.
But that was when I kind of I mean, not that I couldn't predict the future or anything, but you could kind of tell, you're like, well, what's going to happen is that it's going to just reduce the $10,000 snakes. You're not going to see so many of them.
Yeah.
It's going to be more
Mm.
hundreds of dollars to $1,000. So if that
Yeah.
happens, people may not be willing to spend $3,000 on a rack.
Yeah.
just we. That's why I decided to do the hybrid rack, is to um, try to make a rack that still has that same nice
Look.
look and nice industrial
Yeah.
look and high quality,
Yeah.
but make it for less money.
Yeah.
And that was why we did that, because of the ball python. That was why we did that.
Ah. Okay.
So, and because I just felt like, and I kind of, at the time,
Mm-hmm.
the metal racks, the all metal racks, they were slowing
Mm-hmm.
down in sales. And I said, man, I can kind of feel
Mm.
that, it's slowing down a little bit. And
Right.
that's why we
Right.
invested. What,
Uh,
am I just going to quit? So that's why we invested, instead of, just slowing everything down. We just put more money into it. We threw a lot of money at it, and created a new item, or a
yeah.
new rack, that we could sell for less, and it worked.
Yeah.
So and it worked.
It worked really well, right?
Yeah. So people would just do the math. Just do the math on your holes. If you're looking
Mm.
at buying a rack from anyone, I would always recommend, do the math on your total costs. Do put some value on your labor. So, but do the cost and compare. Divide it all out, and compare how much each individual tub costs you.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised. How close we are with a lot of companies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you probably know this too because like every time I place the order, like from you, I always say like this is the last time, right? But it never, it's always gonna be something else.
Of course,
Yeah. So the
the
business is
addictive
really
hobby.
good because yeah. So you cannot really technically stop. I don't want to call it as a addiction because it's such a bad word, word. But
I,
the hobbies like keep growing. People gonna need more. Like rack to put their animals to feed their animals or things like that, right? So knowing that you actually do like both sides, the rodent for their feeders and also the caging, that's like the perfect scenario. You know what I mean? So yeah. So you probably like went through like the whole process just to kind of like jot down and focus on these two things, which is the best move ever, I think. Yeah. So if you decided to make that caging for like any type of lizard, please let me know because I will need a few of them.
okay, all right.
Yeah, it might not be like like at first because I need to find the place first and then kind of like well, I'm taking like like the whole thing from there. I will let you know for sure.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that
mhm.
new 80 series tub will be a good lizard tub.
Yeah, but not for like a bigger like water
Not bigger
monitors
ones,
though.
no, but if you like,
Oh,
bearded dragons and things like that.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. I don't really into like small geckos. I like things like really big, but yeah,
Yeah.
anything that I can play with. But yeah. What is next for you? Like, so let's say if we talk again, right? 3, 5 years, like how do you see ARS like 5 years from now? Well, I'm ready to talk about that dog and cat stuff, but like how do you see the company go from now to like 5 years from now?
Wow. You know, it's
Yeah,
funny. I don't know if I really. I know you. Every company should have a 5-year plan, right?
yeah, yeah. You
Um,
should. What
I don't
happened,
know.
Brian?
Just really just making more racks, doing more
Mm,
racks, trying to improve as much
mm-hmm.
as we can, um,
Yeah,
and eh, always I'm trying to keep the cost down, and it's very difficult
yeah,
right now to keep costs down. Everything is getting more expensive. Metal's more expensive, plastic's more expensive, labor's more
yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
Everything just costs so much more. So that was the biggest thing. Is my goal is always keep it down, keep the
Mm-hmm.
price down. But
Mm-hmm.
wow, I don't know. Without giving up too much information.
Of
But yeah,
course,
I
yeah.
mean,
You don't have to. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's a few little products we're wanting to work on, but
Okay.
right now, I don't know if I have a good answer for that. So
Okay.
sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I think the best answer is just keep listen to Chris' idea just in case if you need
Yeah.
any more my crazy ideas and stuff.
So yeah, I don't know if I'll ever retire doing this. I'll be doing this till probably I'm 70 years old at least. So I got another 20
Yeah.
years or so. But
Yeah. Well, the last time we met, you were actually kind of like hint the idea about preparing for retirement. So I was like, no, don't go anywhere just yet. So.
I mean, my wife always says, she says, "What is retirement?" Which I always laugh at, because she doesn't ever see me retiring, But
Mm,
I think I will always be around. I don't know if I'm ready to retire. I enjoy it.
yeah.
I enjoy making stuff. I enjoy making new stuff, and that's what's exciting for me. So I don't know. If I retire, I don't get to do that anymore.
Right. Yeah. Like in my industry, like most of the people that I deal with, like on daily basis, they're like way much older than me, right? So it's like really funny if like one of their wife asked me like, when are you thinking about retiring? So I'm like, I do not know. I mean, I'm not even halfway there. So yeah, just like really funny. But like just like what you said, if you love what you do, right? I mean, the idea about like retire is like really hard to digest, right? Because what is really like retiring? It's just like you cannot really stop what you're doing, especially if you love it.
Right.
So maybe slow down a little bit, not necessarily like
Yeah. Yeah.
retiring per se. You know what I mean?
Try to do that
So
alone.
yeah,
So, but no, it's funny because I have friends. I've got a
yeah,
few friends that have retired very early. Early 50s,
yeah,
mid
mm-hmm,
50s. They retire, and you see that, and you're like, wow, that'd be kind of neat. You wouldn't have to work. And I was like, well, what do I do? I mean,
yeah,
you know, I think I'd be bored. You'd be so bored.
yeah,
I really don't mind coming to work. And doing and working on new projects. I've
mm,
got really good staff. So
yeah,
Jason that works for me, my manager, he's awesome. And I mean, every good company, if every good company has good employees,
yeah,
and Jason's very good at knowing what I like. It's almost
mm.
funny. He's been with me 17 years or so now, and
Wow, yeah,
he'll know the answer. Even though he'll say, "Well, you got to go talk to Brian about it," but he already knows the answer. He already knows what the answer
okay,
is, and he knows what I would
right,
say. And so it's nice to have someone like that. I'm very fortunate to have him here along on this ride. And
yeah.
he's really good with customers, and we try to be good with customers, obviously. So
Yeah, it's really hard to find a really good, like employees. Well, especially in these hobbies. I mean, I've been trying to get like really good ones. I mean, I have one that been with me like for in like few years now, but he's not really that good. Meaning, he's good what he's just doing. In terms of like cleaning and things like that. But in terms of like like breeding or like like solving like issues that he's not there yet.
Right.
But I cannot really complain that much, And then it's just always good to have someone that you can rely on, at least, especially during like my busy schedules or things like that. And then the good thing is, like not having people that, like staff that are really good, because I can kind of like slow down my addiction, right? Because otherwise, I'm gonna keep buying and then more expanding, more animals. That would be a bad idea for me. So yeah, it's kind of like
Well,
good and bad.
I was very fortunate that Jason was, he's a reptile enthusiast as well. He came to the show when he was 16 years old.
Oh, okay.
He was a kid, a teenager when he started coming to the shows, and he's a reptile enthusiast also. And that's the tough one. It's really hard to get employees that have experience with reptiles. Now, for what we do, you don't have to necessarily have experience with reptiles, but it doesn't hurt you, and so it's that part is nice. I mean, it's funny. I don't know if everybody would put value someone who would, you name any type of reptile, and someone who can answer. Well, this is type of enclosure you want. This is type of humidity. Most people just don't know that. You just have to. That's experience, and really there is a value to that. And it's not everybody can just do that. There's a lot of people that think they know everything about reptiles, but at the end of the day, they may not necessarily know as much as you think. So, but Jason's really good at it. I'm very, very excited that he's been with us and he's been able to help us with that. But
yeah, because there's always a difference, right? Because sometimes like having like a good customer, sometimes they don't want to deal with your staff. They want to deal directly with you because there's a difference, right? Because
I get that too. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So it just for me, it's going to be like much helpful because it would be nice, right? I mean, if I could just call him like, hey, can you breed this to that, or like do this to that, instead of like me have to like physically go to the facilities and then do all the things myself. But that's the perfect scenario that I really wanted. But having him just to clean and then just to make sure everything is fine, and then if there's issue, just call me. That's already like way more than enough.
Well, it does free you up where you can travel a little bit and do other work.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to go over before? Because I don't want to take much of your time. I know you're a really busy guys, and then I really appreciate your time. Spending with me almost like an hour or so.
This is good. I need to do this, by the way.
See, I told you.
I'm not out there, but no.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I used to do I used to have a lot of animals. Been there, done that. And I bred ball pythons from like 1993 when I first got my first.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I stopped breeding ball pythons about 3 years ago. Mostly for the reason that I needed the room that they were in.
Right.
For tubs. I made it into a tub room. And so the business was growing, so that's what happened there. And then when we moved to our new shop, I bought 2 Gila monsters and 2 beaded lizards.
Right.
It was something I've always wanted all my life. Probably for the last 10 years, I've been bugging my wife about it, and she's saying, no. And, you're going to get bit, you're in the hospital, you're going to blah, blah. And I said, no, and I finally wore her down. I wore her down. And she said, okay. And so we've had them here at the shop, and they're great. Everybody, customers that come in, they look at them and stuff. So they're really, I've not really had reptiles as pets. When you have a bunch, when you have 100, 200 snakes and lizards and stuff, they're kind of like pets, but in a kind of way they're not. You have a smaller number, it's like, this is so and so. You name them.
Yeah.
But, so we really like them, and it's a lot of fun. So,
do you have any plan to breed your Gila monster, or just for pets for now?
I am not allowed to breed my Gila monsters in my city.
Oh yeah.
That's what they say.
Let's keep it that way for now.
I'm going to house them together. So, mother future, works out that way.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
That's,
So,
that's what breed.
yeah, that's true. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. And then say hi to Jason because he's been really good to me too. Because like every time I place the orders, I always kind of like complaining to him.
Oh yeah,
Like, where
okay.
is my items?
Yeah, well, I tell you
He's
what,
super nice to
we're
me.
slammed
Huh?
with orders right now.
I
It's just
know.
crazy.
That's
It's
good though.
very
That's good
crazy.
though. Yeah.
We're at least 50 racks back right now. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, that's
So yeah,
awesome. Yeah,
oh,
that's
but
awesome.
it's
Yeah.
awesome. I like to get them out. We're trying to get them out, and
Yeah.
where guys are saying, I think they're coming in faster than we can get them out. So, but we'll be all right. We'll be all right. So we're making some changes to try and get stuff out faster.
Perfect. So last thing. So the 5540s are well, it's available right now, right? So people
Yeah,
can
I
place the
have to
orders.
call it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So it's not on the website, but it's available.
yeah, it'll be on the website soon.
Okay. And then can all my friends get a better deal for their
Sure.
pricing?
So
They're all gonna call you. Well, Chris
we are
told
getting
me.
ready
Huh?
to change our website. So the website's in the process of being redone, and so
Okay.
that we're going to have it to where you can calculate shipping and everything, and you won't have to bug
Yeah.
us about shipping. Not to bug us, we're more than willing to give you a price, but that way you'll know more instantaneously on everything. We're going to try and make everything so you know how much shipping is. It's complicated. The shipping is
Mm.
very complicated because we use multiple carriers for freight, and
Yeah.
and every little area of the country is different. And each trucking
Yeah.
company has lower rates in certain areas, so it's very
Yeah.
difficult to try and get that rate down. But we're gonna. I think we can get there, and
Okay.
so we'll have that'll be something new. That'll be coming up. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, that we'll have something like that up.
Okay. Yeah, but like in terms of the pricing, I think it's better off. I know you like to do everything, based on the systemized, so it's gonna, free much of your time. But I think in terms of the pricing, it's better off just to like deal directly with the customer, because sometimes you don't want your competition to kind of compete with your price and then knowing how much that you're gonna sell this for like a certain price. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Is that making sense to you? Yeah.
I understand, but I think that I always worry that we lose customers if they can't figure out how much something is on shipping. That they
Got it.
don't, we lose the customer. And
Got it.
I think we do a pretty good job answering the phone here. It rings all the time.
Yeah.
But if you leave a message, we're going to call you back.
Yeah.
I think we do. But no,
No, you did not.
we really try. We do. Customer
Of course,
service
of course.
is very important to us.
Yeah.
And I mean, I tell you what, I'll talk to someone for a half an hour, and knowing I'm not going to make a sale. I mean, that's what you do.
I
You
know.
have to.
I know.
And
Yeah.
me, it's all. I just want to help the person, and if they
Of
got
course.
a problem with trying to get temps to where they want or whatever, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
or the question about a snake, we try and help people. So, but the website, as far as getting all the shipping and everything down, I do think that it'll help the sales some. People will
Yeah.
be more likely to click that button and
Yeah.
get that ordered. It'll help us. It'll free us up by a lot. I mean, we
Yeah.
spend a lot of time putting quotes in for shipping, and
Yeah.
if it's already done, then it'll save us a lot of time. And then then we can. If someone still wants to talk to us, that's fine. We'll talk to them about business ideas and breeding, concepts of how they want to get their room set up and things like that.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So the best way to reach you guys just everything gonna be on the website, right? Information wise, like phone numbers,
Yep.
emails, and
Yep.
things like that. Okay.
Emails, phone numbers are on there. We have a Facebook page of arscaging.com or arscaging on Facebook.
Yeah.
On there and like us or follow us, and we do I'm trying to do better. I'm the one that does that too. I need to get one of these young kids in here to do all my web stuff, but my
Yeah.
social media. And
Perfect.
I try and post in there when I can. When we have any updates, I try and post that. So it's
Right.
handy. The more people that follow us there, the more people that find out immediately. So.
Yeah. When is your next show? Are you coming to Arlington or like Tinley or no?
I'm going to Arlington, then I'll be in Tinley.
Okay.
Arlington in February and in Tinley in March, and then
Okay.
after that, it's a little bit of time. So I think the next show after that would be Daytona.
Okay.
Would be August. So I don't think I
Yeah.
have any other shows planned. I might find something in there, but
Okay. Okay. So you're not going to Arlington and then Tinley, the one in fall?
I don't do Arlington in the fall. It's a
Okay.
long drive.
Yeah, I know.
It's a
Okay.
long drive, and I do that once a year. I don't think I need to do it twice a year. So,
Of course.
when we go, we want to sell a lot of racks at one time, and if I went twice a year, I don't know if they would overlap a little bit. So I
Right.
think once a year is
Unless if
good.
there's like a pre-orders or something like that, right? Then you
Almost
can
everything
go
we
to the
take
show.
for shows is ordered, typically. But you have a
Okay.
few. You have to put displays out.
Okay. I'll be miss. Well, I probably more likely gonna miss, Tinley and Arlington, the one in March. Well, the
Mhm.
early one, but I'm gonna go the one in fall. Tinley for sure, and then up. If nothing else, I'm probably gonna try to catch you for the Daytona show. So I will
Okay.
let you
You
know
say
for
you'll be
sure.
in
Yeah.
March, Tinley?
No, no, no. I'm gonna miss on that one, but I'm gonna be the one in fall, the one in October.
Oh, okay, in October. Okay. Yeah, but if you go to
Yeah.
go to Daytona, I'll see you there.
Yeah, yeah. If not, then I can always go and visit your facility. So we'll see.
Yeah. Always here.
All right, Brian. Thank you so much for doing this, and then I'll catch you in Daytona maybe.
All right. See you.
All right, Brian. Thank you. Bye.